Finally, you can run your business from your phone faster. Keep track of the day, dial directly into meetings, log a task, update opportunities, and find the fastest path to close the deal. You can view service case details and have visibility into vital reports and metrics like sales pipeline and customer satisfaction. This feed-first experience brings the most important information right to you. Your connected products, legacy data from your back-office apps, even Microsoft Office documents and spreadsheets where you can view and edit files while on the go. Want a custom app? Build it in minutes with the new Lightning App Builder. Teams across every department can create new modern apps, personalized just for their needs, or quickly install mobile-ready apps from the App Exchange, the leading business app marketplace. It's time to run your business faster than ever before with the Salesforce1 mobile app.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Executive Vice President, Mobile Strategy, Salesforce, Clarence So.
Thank you. Thank you. It's so great. My name's Clarence. It's so great to be back for our 12th Dreamforce, my 12th Dreamforce. It's terrific to see a lot of familiar faces over the years and a lot of new faces. And it's really my privilege to share with all of us here today the new Salesforce1 mobile app and represent all the hard work of our R&D organization, the engineers, the designers, the product managers who poured their heart into the past year to make this app even better, even faster, even more productive for all of us users who rely on this app to get work done. And so over the course of the next 50 minutes, we're going to show you some terrific demonstrations of the technology. We have two terrific customers willing to share their stories with us, how they created their mobile strategy, and share some tips and tricks with us. And we're going to give you some insight. We're going to give you some insight into the mobile roadmap so you can start getting prepared for the future starting today. So let's start with the product, shall we? Since I'm a nerd, I love to start with the product. What I'm obligated to do when we do products, especially with roadmaps, we've got to do the safe harbor thing. There's risks and uncertainties to the roadmap, so please make all your decisions based off of products available today. Okay, so for context, our CEO kicked off this conference yesterday with Salesforce, the customer success platform. And I think all of you know that about us. We're the company that stores your customer data all in one place so you can connect with your customers in whole new ways. And whether that data comes from your salespeople typing in carefully curated information, or whether it's connected to those billions of devices like the toothbrush or the camera, or whether it's coming in from trillions of customer transactions, we bring all of that customer data into our customer success platform so that your salespeople, your service, your marketing, community, analytics, and apps, you can connect to your customers in new ways. And what I want to do is just tap down on this idea of apps, and specifically mobile apps, and how you can use mobile apps to connect to your customers in new ways. And the way to start this whole topic is to start with our flagship Salesforce1 mobile app. And for those of you new to us, this is our flagship app, the one app with the infinite possibilities. For those of you new to us, this is the app that brings all your other apps forward, whether they're your standard or custom objects, whether they're the apps that you pulled off the App Exchange, or whether those apps that you created, those carefully curated tab sets. We bring those forward. We also bring forward all your customizations. So if you created those page layouts for profiles, we pull that forward. You changed it into 30 different languages using the translation workbench, we pull that forward. If you built Visualforce pages in Apex, we pull that forward. And the hard work that we did is we make all that stuff just work on all your devices. If you're like me, you might have 3 or 4 devices, an iPhone, an iPad, or a Windows device. And we bring all that stuff seamlessly forward across all your devices. And this product is publicly available today. We actually launched it last year, about 11 months ago at Salesforce1. And the momentum behind this app has just been astounding. 84,000 companies have started using the Salesforce1 app. It's really become the anchor of their mobile strategy. And over 4 million custom apps have been built by our clients, 4 million custom apps that we never even dreamed of. And our partners from the App Exchange really stepped forward. They built over 300 mobile-ready apps that are available on the Mobile App Exchange today. And when you drill into how the users are using the technology, we're actually, frankly, amazed, the business value coming out of it, the value that's justifying the cost. For example, the types of response times to customer requests have gone up by 24%. The ability to find that critical information when you're in the heat of the moment and you're talking to a client and you want to do something, get a signature, look up something, 29% improvements. Companies like Philips, Honeywell, Johnson & Johnson are seeing this type of value that's really paying back the investment in their mobile strategy right off the bat. And when you want to understand how they're doing this, you have to look at their customizations. And we're lucky because they come visit us or we visit them and they show us these customizations, but some of them have actually selfied these customizations. So this hashtag, Salesforce1 selfie, are a bunch of customizations that our customers selfied and they posted on Twitter. And if you take a look at it, the array of customizations is just stunning. We're seeing all sorts of things, music apps, healthcare apps, financial services apps. Here's one from Virgin America. It's a social intranet app. If you step back and look at it, really, it is the one app with infinite possibilities. And really, for us at Salesforce, all we can really say is just thank you. Thank you for using the app, seeing the value. Thank you for customizing the app. Thank you for selfieing the app and sharing them with all of us. So I just wanted to thank you for the past year for doing all that. Now, as the Salesforce1 product guy, I'll be the first to admit the first version was pretty good, but it was not perfect. We understand that. But the good news is we're listening and we're constantly releasing new features. We have 3 releases a year, spring, summer, and winter, and we have lots and lots of minor releases. And we are listening to your comments. We have heard over 10,000 user comments come in from all of you guys, and we have read them all. I have read them all. It's really framed the way we think about our mobile roadmap. And the types of things you're asking for are things that we know we need to do or have already done. Things like drill to report, Salesforce events, lead convert, report drill down, group announcements. It's starting to scroll really fast because in most of these cases, we've already delivered these features in the spring and summer release. And so there's already been a lot of dramatic improvements since we met 11 months ago. But I want to give you a peek into the mobile roadmap that's largely inspired by you so that you can get a taste of how we're thinking and also just to shape the future user comments you share with us because they're very important to us, so please keep sharing them with us. And so this first feature I'm really excited about. It's coming from our power users. These power users are the types of users who grabs their phones 19 times a day. They bust it out, and they work in 72-second increments. They try to get work done in these little moments. And these people have asked us, please, help me find and update my customer data faster, whether it's my opportunities or accounts. Just do it faster, because I'm in a rush. And so these are the types of things that you can expect in the new winter release. You see that little sash? The winter release is the one that's coming out right now. It's rolling out on our production servers. I think we're halfway through. And you can expect it on the App Store sometime in late November, too. So when you tap on an entity, like opportunities, let's say I'm looking up on an opportunity. This is what you can expect. When I tap on opportunities, I get all my list views, not just my most recent, all of them. Let me tap on one of these carefully curated list views that I created, and it's sorted here. It's sorted, but you know what? I want to sort locally on the phone by amount. And you know what? I want it to be descending because I want that big deal, the bubble to the top. And so there I did it. I sorted right there. It's my big deal, Patel & Company. And now I can act right on the opportunity without even drilling to the record home. This is the way we're trying to cut taps out. This is the new action bar. This is the action bar that you are customizing administrators, and the top 3 actions are right there. And of course, there's a more button. Now, in this case, since it's a demo, I'm going to drill all the way to the record home because you know what? I want to see some more details underneath. And when you look at the new record home, you will notice a couple of minor changes. Here you can see the feed, details, and related, so you can instantly see where you are in the record home, and you can see all the renderings, so you can quickly orient yourself. And back to that action bar, we consolidated all the action systems. There are 5 of them. And instead of having to peck around at the different places, we unified them all here. So you'll recognize all your actions in one place. What's the net effect for you power users who use this all the time? What took about 20 taps in 60 seconds should take about 10 tabs in 30 seconds, 2 times faster to find and update your customer data. And that's just the beginning. We're going to work harder at this. Here's another one from users. They said, I'm always working on something in context, like an opportunity or an account or a contact, and I want to capture my notes and tasks, but contextually. So help me do that quickly. And so this is the type of features that we're bringing out. Some of it's coming out in pilot in the winter release, and then some of it's coming out in the spring. And so I'm really just framing this around winter and spring features. And so you see that yellow button? That's the new Notes button. When you tap on Notes on the Springfield Opportunity Record, let's take a look here. I'm now capturing a note, but not just any note. It's contextually related to the opportunity. I can relate it to other things, or I can just start typing, and I can really peek into my MRU, my most recently used items. And in this case, it's Gordon McCarthy. I want to relate it to Gordon McCarthy also. So 2 things I'm related to. And then how often have you been typing? And then you know what? That is actually an action item. And so I want to relate that send thank you note and turn it into a task, but relate it back to Gordon McCarthy. And so that task and note is really what users have asked us to do, is quickly capture notes and tasks contextually. It's different from other notes and task apps. That's what we're trying to do. Here's a third example. A lot of our users have asked us to do a better job integrating with terrific productivity apps like Microsoft. Make it seamless. And so this took a little longer. Did anybody notice we did a big deal with Microsoft on Monday? Anybody notice with Tony Profit? Yeah, we worked with them. We've been working with them for a long time now. And this is the taste of the types of things that we're coming out with. For example, you can see here in the stage left, Files. You see that up there? I'm going to tap on Files. But now, instead of just finding files in my Salesforce platform, customer success platform, you see that recent up there? There's a connected files section. So there is a server integration going on with partners, like SharePoint or OneDrive for Business. And so I might think, you know what? I'm looking for that Excel spreadsheet, but I think it's in OneDrive. So I'm going to tap on OneDrive. I'm going to reach into something outside of a cloud and inside Microsoft's, and there it is. The annual financial report. And I'm looking at it. There's a preview inside Salesforce1. But you know what? I want to edit it. That interest is not quite right. So I'm going to just tap on this, edit this file, and it just seamlessly swivels me into Microsoft Excel for iPad. And it opens me in context. And you know what? I'm going to update that 3789 to 4826. There it is. Exactly what I need. And I'm going to save it back. It's going to swivel me back into Salesforce1, right where I started, and stored back in OneDrive for Business. This is the type of seamless integration that our users said, can you do this with top productivity apps like Microsoft? And we're working on this, so you can expect this coming in 2015. And it's not just Excel, it's Outlook, it's other things with Microsoft. The partnership is going to go wide and deep for us, and we couldn't be more excited. Now, I've given you 3 things really designed for users. But it's not just about users that really excite us. How many people here are system administrators? Anybody? Yes, you guys are the keys to really unlocking all this productivity for your end users, and we've been thinking about you a lot too. Especially the new admins. The new admins who join us, they're like, wow, it's kind of, I got to figure out how to do the Salesforce1 mobile thing. Can you make it easier to set up mobile on Salesforce? So in the winter release, there's a new setting right at the top. It's called Salesforce1 Setup. It says new. I hope it's already on your servers today, but if it's not, it should be by about October 17th, I think, is the last release. And when you do that, and you tap on it, this is the level of effort to customize it. If I want to update Bruce's stage left, right now Bruce, the end user, has only 5 apps, but I'm now adding a new one here. Let's add Salesforce Events, because you know what? That's new in winter release, and I really want Salesforce Events. I'm going to put it under today, and I'm going to drag in 2 other apps off the App Exchange. In this case, maybe Financial Force, and maybe exactly to do incentive compensation. And as I mentioned, there's over 300 of these. I think Dropbox for Business just announced theirs today. Evernote's on there. There's a lot of productivity apps. So now I have 8 apps that the administrator has ready for Bruce on the right. So next time Bruce, the end user, this could be deployed across thousands of users, Bruce just pulls down his stage left here. Instantly, he now has, instead of 5 apps, 8 apps, exactly sequenced the way the administrator set up. It's that simple to set up. Also, and so let's tap down. There's the new Salesforce Events. This was one of those top 10 features out of the user comments they asked for us. And then if I tap down on exactly, you can see here a third-party app that's being pulled off the App Exchange. That's terrific. Now, that's not the only thing you want to customize. A lot of people go, the navigation's pretty important, but also that action bar is really important. because I want the actions to be put right in front of my users so they do that stuff. I want to capture that call. I want to log the call, log that note. And so what's the level of effort to customers, the action bar? Here it is in the setup wizard. You know what? I want to add that new note action, and I'm going to stick it right in the top position because it's contextual. I want that. And then I created a custom action. I want to create a custom action. Every time I talk to an account or a contact, I want to check in on the record so everybody knows I'm talking to that account. And you know what? I'm going to put it right at the bottom and the top. And I want to sequence these actions because my users tell me this sequence is how they operate, what to put in the front and what to put in the back. And so when I look at when Bruce logs back in, he taps on feed, and let's take a look. Exactly mirroring what the administrator set up. So really, this is what we mean by using clicks versus code to set up Salesforce1 to work for your end users. Now, this is terrific, especially for our new admins, but a lot of our admins out there have been around for a while, and they're beyond this. They're looking at this, and they're like, that's awesome, but what I want to do is I want to build custom Salesforce1 pages, custom Salesforce1 pages that do things that only our company does. And so here's a taste of that. We launched Lightning App Builder, and here for pilot users in winter, you can take advantage of this, and there's going to be beta roughly in the spring. If you type in Lightning in setup, you see there in the left, you type in Lightning, you'll see Lightning App Builder, and this is the level of effort to set up something. For example, how often do you want to set up a getting started page to train your users? Because training is a hassle, right? So I'm going to tap on getting started, and I'm going to drag in a Visualforce component here. And in this Visualforce component, I'm embedding a YouTube video. That YouTube video is going to train my users, so I don't have to set up all these meetings. And then I'm going to set up most recently used too. I'm going to save it and activate it. And now when I open up, I got to create a little Flexi page tab here. I'm going to point to the right app, that page that I just built. I'm going to label it. I'm going to give it an icon. And it's as simple as that. So I'm going to add the icon because we really love our icons on Bruce. And we'll save next. I'm going to pick the types of profiles I want because I don't want everybody to get this. But in the case of this demo, let's give it to everybody. I'm going to save it. Now let's go back to the Salesforce1 setup. Remember we were there before? I should now have ready to deploy is this new getting started thing. So let's scroll down and take a look here. And we just created this new Salesforce1 page. There it is, getting started. I'm going to put it right at the top of the navigation menu. And so how long did that take? It took about 60 seconds, right? Now, it assumed that we knew a little bit of Visualforce. But now, you've deployed these 8 apps. And now, you might even have done 15 apps. But instead of training, where you kind of have to set up all these meetings, we stick it at the top. Next time Bruce logs in and he refreshes his page, you can basically make him look at it. So we're going to land on the Getting Started Salesforce1 page. And when Bruce looks at it and taps on it, he should be able to be receiving these YouTube videos we're putting in front of them. And so you can put this up for a week. You can put it up for a month. You can change the videos all the time. You can train them. And this is just an example. I mean, this is a simple example, frankly. But this is the power of the Lightning App Builder to give our power admins more control over what their users are doing. And so what have we done so far? We have given you 5 examples out of 200+ productivity enhancements. We are taking productivity really seriously. We're listening to your comments. And you know, I couldn't go through all 200 in the winter release because it would take all day, frankly. But we pulled a bunch of them forward. If you see things like contact dedupe, number 2 on the ID exchange, 62,000 points on that. It's been on there. We're knocking that out in the winter release. Filters on reports, imports contacts from device. I hope you recognize these things because these are the most popular features that you guys have been voting for through our user comments in the ID exchange. And so I just assure you that our mobile roadmap is really focused on making this app better. Our goal is to make this mobile app your best coworker you've ever had, your most productive coworker. That's our job, is to make that app as good as that for all of you. All right, so that's the product. That's a bit of the roadmap. And we obviously love making products super awesome for you guys. That's our job. But we've also learned that our job is more than that. We are not about just products. We're here to help you be successful, and specifically make your mobile strategy successful. And so that's how I want to shift gears and kind of move into chapter 2 of this 2-chapter keynote. And to kind of kick this chapter off, I want to just recognize there's an emotion in the room here that I know we're all feeling. There's almost like a feeling of urgency and a little bit of fear about mobile strategy because it's new, but it is on all of our minds. In fact, there's an Accenture survey that they surveyed over 1,500 C-level executives, and they said 87% of these companies are making mobile strategy a top priority this year. It's a funded, budgeted priority. And this number has come out of the blue. It's double last year and from almost a dead start 2 years ago. So how did it happen that in 2 short years, mobile strategy kind of became a fun thing to almost an imperative for every company? And the way we would characterize it is disruption. It's about a fear and urgency about disruption. Disruption is really just a mobile app away. For example, think about your own personal life. Think about the way, let's say, you hail a cab or book a hotel or buy clothes or music or movies, for example. And think about the way you did it 2 years ago. In my case, if I want to grab a cab, I'd probably walk to the front of Moscone, I'd wait in line, and it'd take about 12 minutes to hail a cab. But today, when I want to hail a cab, I probably bust out my phone, and whatever app is most convenient, like Uber or Lyft, I'm going to order a cab that way. Same thing with hotels. I'm going to bust out the app like Hotel Tonight. Same thing with ordering clothes. In my case, for music, I used to download stuff off of iTunes, 99 cents at a time, and that's still awesome. But these days, I just go for Spotify, and I just download it. I just stream it. I store it offline. And if you take a look at these logos, this is the scary part. They're not really the same companies that we interacted with 2 years ago. They got, I don't want to say they're disrupted, because these guys are going to fight back, but this is happening right now. There's a war. There's a war going on for our customers and for our talent and our employees. And I think that's why that 87% exists, is we feel the urgency to build compelling apps for our employees and customers. We have to do this. We have to do this year. And so that's where we want to focus on. And when we talk to our customers, when we talk to our Salesforce customers, they kind of break it down into these 2 ideas. Deliver apps for your employees and customers with the Salesforce1 platform. But they're slightly different ideas. Build your employee apps, all your employee apps into Salesforce1, the mobile app, the way that I just showed you with some of those demos in the winter release. Build those in there. And for customer-facing apps, when you got to interact, when your customer is directly interacting with your brand, you should build a custom customer-facing app. And if you can do those 2 things in your mobile strategy, if you can do them urgently and quickly on the same customer success platform, you are on the road to being more competitive in the war for, please, feel free. You get more competitive to protecting your customers and your employees, your most important assets. And so we really want to just drill down into these 2 ideas, employee apps and customer-facing apps. And the way that we did this is we invited 2 terrific customers. We have 2 stories, one from Design Within Reach. They're going to share with us their mobile strategy and their employee-facing apps. And we also have exclusive resources. They're happy to share their customer-facing apps. And so we're going to start with Design Within Reach, and specifically their employee-facing apps. And it's really a great story, and the time to value and the business value they've seen very quickly. So let's start that with the film.
In the past 25 years of being in business, I haven't seen any technology that changed how you deal with a consumer faster than Salesforce. The next transformation has happened, and it's mobile, and Salesforce was there first.
I almost hate to think about how we operated pre-Salesforce.
We made a lot of mistakes. We didn't call people back. We didn't have one-touch information. And when you lost somebody, you lost sales.
Now that we've given our sales team the Salesforce1 mobile app, they have power at their fingertips.
We have the ability, whether down underground or in a taxi, and just seeing everything, right there in a little 4-inch screen.
Everyone feels like they're part of one company and one goal.
The palm of your hand is a very powerful place. And if you can get that to the consumer and teach them what you have, I think you've won. The consumer is already living on a mobile device. And overnight, corporate America had to catch up and transfer all their data and all their experience to mobile. Salesforce is what helped us get there. If you don't have it today, you're at a disadvantage. This is just where you're supposed to be. Or, fine, stay where you are and you can kind of rust on your own.
From a managing perspective, the efficiency is increased, tenfold.
But I don't think it's even perceived anymore as a mobile app from our own people. It's just the way it is. Design Within Reach is all about making authentic, modern design accessible. There's well over 100 designers featured in our studios. And since we sell through education, our people have to be fluent in that language. Salesforce helps them become fluent and stay fluent. It's like having a little cheat sheet in the palm of your hand.
IT's role at Design Within Reach is to make an employee's life easier. Ultimately, if their life is easier, and that's going to make the customer experience that much better.
You're in 20,000 square feet in the flagship studio, so when the client walks in the door, you ultimately rely on the Salesforce1 mobile app to understand exactly everything that you need to know on the fly, right there in front of the customer.
It provides his information now. Can this be customized? Can I see it in a different color? Do you remember what I saw last time I was here? We have it on Salesforce, so it's quick, it's immediate, and it's a seamless transfer of knowledge.
It's almost like we've scanned a barcode, and we understand everything that goes on.
You know, before they've left the studio, you've documented the experience, you've mailed them their quote, and you own the client. Anything short of that is a misstep.
There is no question that using Salesforce1 mobile app has helped them to sell more product. One of the most important things is to be able to go out and go to clients' homes.
Well, the app is, really critical in that situation because we're visiting not only to make sure that their first sale went okay, but we're also looking for future sales.
They pull the iPad out, they can answer all their questions, they can place an order, they can design a room, they can check on the status of an order on a sofa.
Once people hand over their credit card, they want their furniture pretty quick. You can see the delivery from point A to point B by using the mobile app.
I get those dashboards, and it's like the difference between being in the dark and turning the lights on.
If we want to give our sales team a new process, we can make it mobile.
The Salesforce1 mobile app for us is completely transformative.
I can run the business from my phone, and that's changed my life.
Well, it's a terrific story, and we need to learn more about this. So let's take a closer look at a demonstration of that app. So to invite on stage, I'd love you to welcome Chris Landy.
Thank you so much, Clarence. So I'm really excited to be here with all of you today to tell you about an amazing customer of ours, Design Within Reach. And not only do they sell really beautiful furniture, but they have also really delivered employee success and customer success with the Salesforce1 mobile app. They rolled out the mobile app earlier this year to all of their sales teams. And when they rolled out the mobile app, they really wanted to create a mobile journey for their employees and really give them those key use cases and key mobile moments to help them get their jobs done. So they identified things like accessing all of their appointments and schedules, viewing all of their customer information and client profiles, accessing their sales orders, submitting and approving requests, and of course, the ever-important signing of the deal from anywhere. So what I'd like to do is do a demo to walk you through this mobile journey of Design Within Reach. And to help me do this demo, I'd like to welcome Sean Paul and Julie back here at the demo stage. They're going to be helping me drive the demo. And today, we are going to be showing you the brand new Salesforce1 mobile app coming out later this year, the version 7.0. Clarence showed a little bit of it this morning, or earlier in the presentation. So for the purpose of this demo, I'm going to be playing the role of Brad, who is a sales rep at Design Within Reach. And he's constantly going from in-studio or in-store appointments and in-home appointments and on-site appointments. So he uses his mobile app to stay connected to all of his business data. And right when he opens up the mobile app, he sees that iconic Design Within Reach red on the splash screen, and he also sees that red on the header. So right away, the app looks and feels like his app. You can see the action bar at the bottom of the screen here, the action bar that Clarence showed you earlier in the session. And when Brad goes over to the left menu navigation, this is where he sees all of his core CRM and customer information. Everything like his dashboards, his contacts, his accounts, even custom objects that have been created in Salesforce, like in-store promotions and designer contracts. Everything has been seamlessly brought into the Salesforce1 mobile app. And let's scan back up to the top here, Jean-Paul. So here, now Brad wants to dive into the Today app. So this is where Brad really starts his day, because he can get a quick glance at everything he has going on for the day. It looks like he has an on-site consultation at the Lidson Hotel, a couple in-store consultations, a daily team meeting. So let's go ahead and dive into Brad's first meeting, which is that on-site consultation. So here we've dove into the meeting, and we can see all of the high-level information. We can see where that meeting is. It's down the street at the new Lidson Hotel, which is launching soon. And you can see it's with Susan Taylor, who's the lead designer. So as Brad is on his way to the meeting, he wants to learn a little bit more about Susan, so he can easily tap into Susan's contact details. And that's really the great thing about the Today app, is that it's taking your schedule, imported right from your device, and it's bringing it together with all your Salesforce CRM information. So he can see high-level details about Susan. She's the lead designer at the hotel. He can scan and see all of her information, the last time she was contacted by Design Within Reach. And when he swipes over to the right, he can see all of the related information, her social information, her activity history, even all of her sales orders. So as he's on his way to the meeting, he wants to get a quick idea of everything that she's purchased for the Lidson Hotel so far. So he can easily tap on her sales orders and then scan through and see everything that's been purchased, the chandelier that she purchased for the dining room, the swivel chair that she purchased for the kitchen. Everything that's been purchased for the hotel is right here. If we go back up to the top of the feed here, looks like there's one item that she's still looking at, hasn't yet pulled the trigger on, which is the Eames chair and ottoman. She was eyeing it for the lobby. And when Brad is on site with Susan at the hotel, she mentions that she does have a little bit of design budget left over, and she wants to go ahead and move forward with that chair. So he doesn't have to open up the sales order. He doesn't have to go through a lot of records. He can easily swipe right on that record and reveal those new role-level actions. And these are the new actions coming to the Salesforce1 mobile app later this year. And here he has all of his actions. He didn't have to do multiple taps, and that's we're really trying to deliver more to you with less taps and really enable you to take action from wherever you are in the mobile app. So here he sees all of his actions, and in this case, he is going to add a product. Because Susan mentioned she only wants to have this chair if she can have it in time for the hotel's grand opening party this week. If she can't get the chair this week, she doesn't want to get the chair at all. So what he can do is add expedited delivery to this sales order. So here he's adding that new product for expedited delivery and submitting that. And what happens behind the scenes is that this triggers an approval process. Because to get that approval for expedited delivery, it needs to go to the studio manager who's working in the studio across town. So, of course, we're here at Dreamforce. So what we've done today is actually brought the studio across town here to you right inside of our Keynote room. So I'd like to welcome Barkley, who is our in-store manager here at our in the Keynote room studio. Everyone welcome Barkley.
Hi, everybody.
All right, so Barkley, Brad just submitted that request for the Eames chair. He needs it delivered immediately to Susan. Yeah. And you are here in the store, you're working, you're busy, but you just got an alert right to your watch.
Yes, I just received the request, the action on my watch.
That's awesome. So it looks like Brad has requested approval for this Eames chair. He wants it expedited, and you happen to have one right here in the store. Amazing.
I do have one here available for sale.
Well, that's great. So can we get this exact chair, this new chair, over to Susan?
Yes, absolutely. We can approve the request, we can reject the request, or I can go to my phone and add some comments.
Well, that's awesome. So you can take action right from your watch.
Yes.
So let's go ahead, approve this. Let's get it to Brad and to Susan, and he can close out that order.
Let's do it.
Awesome. Great. Thank you, Barkley.
Not a problem. Anytime.
So you just saw how Barkley took an approval process that before took hours and phone calls, and he got it done in minutes. So let's go back over to the hotel. Brad is still on site at the hotel with Susan. And here we have Brad's iPhone. Let's see what he sees. Looks like he's gotten this notification that Barkley has approved his request for the expedited delivery on this item. And he can drill into the sales order. And of course, let Susan know that she can have that chair immediately in time for the hotel launch party. And while they're there, right in the moment, they can open up the action bar and sign that deal right from Brad's phone. So let's go ahead and DocuSign that order. Susan can sign on the dotted line, and that deal is done. And the great thing about Salesforce1 is that you can sign that deal and get that deal done from any device, no matter what device you're using, whether it's an iPhone, an iPad, an Android, a Windows device, a BlackBerry, or even, as you saw, a smartwatch. And that's really the power of the Salesforce1 mobile app in action. Back to you, Clarence.
Thank you. Well, it's a terrific story and a terrific demo. So first of all, I want to welcome to the stage here Bethany Kemp. Bethany Kemp is the brains behind this application for Design Within Reach. And so welcome. Welcome, Beth. So you've been a customer of ours for a while, and you've built this app. So can you give us kind of a feel for the business value that you're starting to see from implementing this?
Sure. So for us, the goal was to improve the customer experience. And to do that, what we wanted was to make the employee's life easier, have them work smarter, faster, more efficiently. And so we wanted information in their fingertips, whether they're touring a customer around one of our new studios or whether they're going on site with a customer to their home. So one of the things, like this example of the manager level approval, we were able to turn a process that had started with many emails back and forth into something that took hours, now takes minutes. And so as you're interacting with your customer, you can now answer their questions right there while you're on site. You know, anytime you're working with a customer and they have to leave and go away and come back another time, because you're not able to solve their problem or answer their question, that's a missed opportunity. And so we want as few of those as possible.
Certainly. Hours to minutes and kind of reducing lost opportunity sounds like terrific value. Can you give us a feel for the level of effort that was required to pull all this off? Was it complicated for you guys?
Sure. So really, that great example of the approval workflow there, we were able to implement that just with our internal resources. One guy, Phil, who's my business analyst, he came up with the idea, he implemented it, trained the users, all in the span of 3 weeks. So very quickly, we were able to take an idea, implement it with the Salesforce1 app, and see an immediate benefit to our sales folks in the field.
That's terrific. Well, that's terrific results. Well, now that you're this far in, and there's a lot of people here in the room that are looking at you going, wow, I want to be as good as that. Do you have any advice for us, pros and cons, that type of thing?
Yeah, so I think two main things that we learned and try and keep in mind. One is knowing your audience. So if you don't know them well, go get to know them. So understand how they work, understand what their needs are, what's hard for them, what thing can you kind of focus on to solve, to get them hooked on using this new application. So that's where we started with that approval flow. It was something very tangible that we could put in their hands very quickly to show them what value can come out of using this app, and then continue to have the conversation. So it doesn't stop right when you launch. You want to continue to build upon what you've given them. And secondly, I would say know your brand and your vision. So, Design Within Reach is about good design in our products, in our studios, in our website, and in the technology we put in the hands of our employees. And my job is to put that good design and technology into their hands to make those employees' lives easier. That way, we're freeing them up to be able to interact with their customers in the way that we want them to, and to create that amazing customer experience.
Terrific. Well, thanks for joining us and sharing your story with all of us.
Thank you.
We certainly appreciate it, and please enjoy the show. Thanks. I'll tell you why I love this story, because I know a lot of us are just starting on implementing Salesforce1 Mobile, and there's always a grab for resources and budget. And so when you hear stories where it takes roughly 3 weeks and maybe an analyst who's pretty smart but can configure the system. Doesn't have to be a coder, just to understand the business. You can use clicks versus code to set up instant value. Instant value like reducing a workflow from hours to minutes. That's business value. The ability to reduce lost opportunities. You heard her. Every time somebody leaves a consultation room, you lost an opportunity. That's the type of stuff you can bring back from this show and go, I got to get going with this thing. And it's really not that complicated. Salesforce1 Mobile is really the first step to getting going on your mobile strategy. I'm hoping you're seeing how achievable it is in a really short period of time. So this is the starting point of your mobile strategy as far as our customers are concerned. Start with your employees. Start with Salesforce1 Mobile. But there's a second step at some point. For some of you out there, you really need to take to your customers, maybe directly through your website or maybe directly through the App Store or Google Play. You need to build a super fully branded custom mobile app. And so we've invited a company, and we have a demo. And here to bring this whole story to life is our very own Michael Peachy. Take it away.
Well, thank you, Clarence. Good afternoon, everyone. How you doing? Well, I'm so excited to tell you about the Salesforce1 platform. And what's incredible about this Salesforce1 platform, it really is the fastest path for you to take your idea for a customer-facing application and bring it to life. We've had 4 million applications now built on the Salesforce1 platform by some of the world's top brands. Just take a look at some of them here. And our customers has seen huge success with this platform. Look at the numbers, 47% faster integration with your data on the back end. You need this speed when you're building these customer-facing apps. 70% faster time to market, 70% faster for you to get that app into the hands of your customer so they can connect with you. And finally here, the industry tells us that all of you have delivered 80% more apps on the Salesforce1 platform than any other platform in the industry. That is phenomenal momentum here. But I think the most important reason that you want to consider and think about building your customer-facing app on Salesforce is that it's connected to all of your customer data. Some of you have spent 15 years curating all of this incredible data about your customers, managing all those customer relationships. And now you can take that data and deliver it right back into the hands of your customers. But not only that, now those customers can connect directly to you right inside of Salesforce from their mobile device. That's incredible power. But I'm sure some of you probably already have a customer-facing mobile app as well, and you're saying, well, I don't need to build one. I've already got one. Well, think about this. Is that custom app, that customer-facing app, connected to your sales, your service, your marketing, your analytics, to your community? Is that app connected to your customer success platform? That's what you need to be thinking about. Let's take a look here at some of the incredible apps that have been built on the platform here. Bloomingdale's, Lyft. Does everyone know Lyft, the ride-sharing service here in San Francisco? Westfield, Academy of Arts University, Scoot, a brand new scooter-sharing service here in the city as well. But there's one special customer that we really want to feature today, and that is Exclusive Resorts. And Exclusive Resorts is a phenomenal company. They've actually been a Salesforce customer for a number of years now. And Exclusive Resorts prides themselves in managing vacations, right, for their members. So they have members, and they pride themselves in these one-to-one relationships they build between the members who go on vacation and the concierges who plan those vacations as well. And they've been doing this for many years now. But just in the last couple of months, Exclusive Resorts released their very first customer-facing mobile application, and it was all built on Salesforce. They wanted to make sure that it was connected into all of that data that they curated with their members and customers over time. And remember before, Chris showed you that incredible mobile journey that Design Within Reach developed for their employees. Well, guess what? Exclusive Resorts took the time to identify the mobile journey for their customers as well. Now, I want you to think about this. For your customers, what are those key mobile moments that your customers need to interact with your company? What are they? You need to think about those when you're building out your mobile strategy. So Exclusive Resorts here saw some key moments. They wanted to make sure their members could plan their vacation, view their itinerary for their activities, book their activities, contact the concierge, and even give feedback, after the trip is done. All right, so I'd love to show you this application in action now. And to do that, I want to introduce Eugene over here on the demo podium. Big round of applause for Eugene, everyone. And of course, all of our demos are live here across Dreamforce, as well as this one here. All right, so for this demo, I'm going to play the role of Joe. And Joe is a member of Exclusive Resorts. He and his family go on lots of vacations with Exclusive Resorts throughout the year. So let's go ahead and scroll down here. Guess what? Joe's going to Cabo in 7 days. I think I might go along with him, actually, in 7 days after Dreamforce. But here we go. He's going to Cabo. We'll scroll down here. He's also been to Telluride earlier in January. He went skiing. And if we scroll down further, he spent the summer in Paris with the family as well. Well, let's scroll back up. We're going to focus in on this Cabo trip. Let's tap in to Cabo. And instantly, you can see here that Joe can see all the key information about this upcoming vacation. He can see where they'll be staying. He can see the weather. And if we scroll down, take a look at this. This is where he can perform all those actions that we talked about, all those mobile moments. He can plan his travel. He can view his itinerary. He can request groceries for his trip. He can find out more about Cabo. And he can even contact the concierge directly from the mobile app. Guess what? It connects with that concierge back in Salesforce. All right, so let's scroll up. We're going to take a look at Joe's planning here for his travel. We can see that Joe is traveling on Virgin America down to Cabo on this trip, and we can see here all the travelers going on the trip, all of his family is going. And not only that, see the grand transportation here. Remember I said Exclusive Resorts has been curating all this data over many years. We even already know who Joe's favorite transport provider is in Cabo from a previous trip, and it's automatically delivered here in the app. Well, Joe and the family have been having dinner one night before going on vacation, and the kids are going, you know, it'd be really awesome, Dad, if we could go on a scuba trip, go on a scuba activity during this upcoming vacation. Well, guess what? We can actually get that booked right in the phone. Just think about it. In this mobile era, I don't want to have to send an email or wait till the next morning to call the concierge. I just want to be able to get it done. So after dinner, Joe can pull the phone out of his pocket. He can dive straight into the Exclusive Resorts app, and he can get this scuba trip booked. So let's go in here. We can see Joe's family's activities on their itinerary for this journey here. We can see they've got their car service. They've got dinner coming up on Thursday. We scroll across to Friday. We can see he's going to play golf in the morning, but the kids and the family are going on a camel safari, which sounds pretty cool. Let's scroll across to Saturday. Well, there's only a dinner here in the evening. It looks like that Saturday morning might be an awesome time to go on this scuba trip. So what does Joe do? All Joe has to do is tap on this Find Things to Do button here, and he can go ahead and start planning that activity and get it booked for the kids. So let's scroll down. We're going to dive into activities. Tap in here. We'll see all the different activities that are available in Cabo. We've got the camel safari that the kids are going on Friday. We have the zip line adventure, which sounds pretty awesome. But let's scroll down. Here is the scuba diving activity. It's got 5 stars. That sounds pretty good. Let's take a look at that in more detail. We can scroll down. We see all the information about this activity, the cost, the ratings, a description of that. And now, all I have to do is tap on the Request Activity button to get this activity booked with my concierge. And not only that, Joe can even add a comment here. He can send a personal message to the concierge right from the mobile app. So Eugene, let's go ahead and send that request through, and boom, it's done. All right, so let's now go across and take a look and see what the concierge sees over at Exclusive Resorts. So just to orient you here, of course, this is the very familiar Salesforce UI that you know and love. And here, you can see we land right on the account record for the John Munro family. We see all the members of the family there. We've got all their pictures. We see all their past reservations here as well. So Eugene, let's tap into the Cabo trip. And right here at the top in the chatter feed, in this reservation, you can see that request that's come through for the activity. And we're going to get back to that in a minute. But keep on scrolling down here and take a look at this. See all these different data elements here, these objects. Remember what I pointed out in the app, the idea that you could book your reservations, your itinerary, your groceries. You could capture comments from the guest. All of this information is available here for the concierge to see as well, all in Salesforce. All right, so we're going to take action here, get the scuba trip booked. Let's tap into the scuba adventure. Now, the concierge here is going to contact the scuba company, make sure all that's okay, we can get that booked. He's going to go ahead and update this here. We'll get the time in there, set the date, and we want to be able to, of course, let Joe know that this scuba trip is confirmed. But in this mobile era, how do we let Joe know that? How do we let Joe know that the scuba trip is booked? Well, we don't wait to send an email or give him a call the next day. No, in the mobile era, we're going to let Joe know via a mobile notification right back on his smartphone. So Eugene, let's go ahead and save that out. And but there it is. There is the mobile notification letting Joe know that the activity is booked. This is the way that you need to connect to your customers in this mobile era. All right, we've got one last thing to do here in this demo, and that's to give feedback. Joe thought the scuba trip was awesome. The family had a great time here. He can go in, give this activity 5 stars, give feedback on the service here, even leave a comment. We're going to go ahead and update that comment, and we're done. When you put all of this together, this is why you want to build those engaging, customer-facing applications all on the Salesforce1 platform. Back to you, Clarence.
Great job. Terrific demo. And it's amazing just to see how these apps can really connect with customers in whole new ways through their mobile apps. I'm here joined by Cindy Terescu, who's the brains at Exclusive Resorts and pulled this all together. Welcome, Cindy.
Thank you.
So Cindy, not everybody's familiar with Exclusive Resorts. Can you give us a kind of a background on the company a little bit?
Sure, absolutely. Exclusive Resorts is a community of travelers that are they like to travel in a very high-end luxury way. We provide a one-to-one relationship with their exclusive ambassador as well as with their concierges so that our staff can get to know everything about how they like to travel, how their friends and family like to travel, and then we curate those experiences for them through a huge collection of privately owned homes throughout the world.
Terrific. And it looked fully branded. It really you couldn't even tell it was our technology behind the scenes. Can you give us a feel for the level of effort it took to put this together?
Well, I'll tell you, it was actually a big effort for us. It sounds like a little more than what Bethany went through. We had a wonderful team of developers that we hired from Salesforce, as well as our own fabulous group of developers that work for Exclusive. Mm-hmm. And together in 3 months, we were able to put together that entire experience. And not only were we able to build the experience for the members, but we were also able to expand the platform for our employees so that now everyone is working off the same information. Terrific.
So your employees, I think you call them ambassadors and concierges, are using it and interacting with members in new ways.
Yes.
And it's beginning, so give us a taste of the types of business value and where you want to take this going forward.
Well, we just launched, so we're still realizing a lot of the benefits. But what we're seeing already is that our members are using the tool, and they're enjoying it. We call it the source, and they're loving it. The interaction is easy for them. It actually drives larger engagement so that our members are using it, and that way we are getting all that information into the Salesforce platform. Mm-hmm. From there, we can use that data for a variety of business purposes. We can make sure our messages to the members are targeted and relevant, and it's something that the member wants to hear about. We can engage with them at a more personal level. And then on top of that, it also helps drive our product development. It helps us understand what our members like to do, where they like to go, how they like to travel, so that we can make sure we tailor those experiences even better going forward.
Terrific. You got any last words of advice for all of us here? Because you've been with us for a while as a client, and I'm sure we'd love to hear from you.
Well, first of all, I would say we have a phrase at work that we have been using a lot this year, and that's reinvent. And as a company, as we approach this challenge, one thing we wanted to do was not just try to replicate what we were doing for the last 10 years, but instead think about what is scalable and what is something that will work for the long-term growth of our company. So my advice would be to think about what your vision is and think about where you want to go as a company and build for that as opposed to just trying to replicate what you've done in the past.
Terrific. Terrific advice. And thank you for sharing your story with all of us. So thanks and enjoy the show.
Thanks.
Well, we've seen 2 case studies that really bring these 2 ideas to life. We've seen Design Within Reach in 3 weeks with a little bit of analyst support really bring value like shrinking hours to minutes. And our employees, in the war for talent, our employees depend on us to bring those types of moments to them. And similarly, with exclusive resorts, where the lifetime value and the renewals of these members are really important, connecting with your customers through push notifications and directly interacting is really very important because we need to retain our customers. And so that's the battle that we're all feeling. What we've done is we've laid out a roadmap for the product. And what we've done is we've given a blueprint for success for employee apps and for customer-facing apps. And I hope this has really got your brains going, because now it's on you. It's on you to turn this show and use this time to really crystallize your mobile strategy and really aggressively and urgently act on it. And so that's what the show is designed, though, for. We're here to help you. There's lots of other breakout sessions where you can incubate your idea. You can visit. You can learn about our case study, Salesforce and Salesforce1. Certainly, we weren't perfect, but we're happy to share our pros and cons. There's more details on the roadmap if you saw those 5 features and you wanted to learn more about those other ones and ask questions. If you want to talk to an expert, come to the Moscone North, bring your ideas and test them off an expert. And I encourage you to give a test drive on some of the customizations you can use with the Lightning App Builder. And for those of you online, I know there's a bunch of you not here at the show, even though I know you want to be. There's a bunch of stuff online. If you go to salesforce.com/mobile, there's an admin rollout guide. I love this thing. It'll get you started. And if you want to interact with other customers, not just the 2 that you heard from us, if you want to go online, here's a bit.ly URL, and you can ask questions and just share stories, and we'll get out of the way. Or you can network here at the show. And so there's one last thing, because I see a couple people reaching for the door. There's one last piece of fun. For some lucky people, there's 10 of us here. If you want a Samsung watch or an iPhone 6, all you need to do is look under your chair. There should be an envelope, so take a look under your seat. Yep. And hold them up in the air. And there's 10 lucky winners. Yeah, there we go. We got some 10 lucky winners. So hopefully that'll get you started. And for the rest of you, I want to thank you and wish you luck with your mobile strategy. Please enjoy the show.